Hello, everyone. I'm Krasi, and Zori Dimitrova is with me today. We'll be talking about the awakening, the Great Awakening, because everyone speaks about Great Awakening. What is actually the Great Awakening? Zori, hello.
Hi, Krasi.
So we'll be speaking from both, of course, astrological point of view, but indeed also the spiritual and the practical perspective. Astrologically, maybe I'll make a big repetition because we all know the Great Awakening started on many levels, like layers of awakening. The first one was, of course, Saturn, who was so strong entering Capricorn. Of course, this is a change of the matrix as we know it. As usual, every 30 years, Saturn is bringing the change. This is not yet enough for the awakening. Then we have the deepest of the deepest influences of Saturn and Pluto conjunction. Then we have, of course, the great historical Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, which took place in the form of the so-called Bethlehem star. Maybe, we are not sure, but they looked as if they're one star, and this happened on the 21st of December 2020. So basically, astrologically, this and other stellar configurations are reasons to speak about awakening. But what is awakening, Zori?
Because it made me think today, after we talked about whether people can learn or not, and to what extent some people can learn, because some are not receptive to receiving spiritual information or to any self-growth or spiritual growth techniques. They're not receptive. Maybe they're not willing enough. I don't even know what the reason is. Maybe it's just the way they're built. Some people are innately more resistant to deprogramming, and this is where I remembered it's not like I discovered it, but I remembered that learning is to a large extent deprogramming from what you already know, because we have all the learning deep inside of us anyhow already. It's just a matter of remembering, and that's what awakening is. It's actually awakening to what we already have inside of us. We're not so much learning new information as we think we are, but we are remembering.
Finding who we are, because we come with amnesia.
Yes.
So we all have amnesia, and we're finding back. I remember David Icke in one of his first books. Exactly, he had one book which was exactly about finding who you are. David Icke, finding who you are, finding out, because we are only the experience of Zori and Krasi. We are not Zori and Krasi. We are this temporary experience, right? Because we do not remember our cosmic names, if you want. So it's about remembering, finding who we are. So awakening is about finding who we really are, right? This is the window of opportunity now to find who we really are.
Yeah, and who we really are is actually inseparable from the skills and abilities that we as a human race have, that we have forgotten. So what we're capable of doing with our minds, with our emotions, these are things that we are about to remember, and that's what we are awakening to. That's what awakening is, remembering.
How come we needed to have these heavy set events in order to wake up? Why is this not happening smoothly?
For some people, it's happening smoothly. Some people naturally wake up depending on their sleep cycle. Some people are. I believe that there were awakened people throughout the centuries at all times. It's just now that it's a mass awakening, and it happens with the noise. If there's an earthquake in the middle of the night, lots of people will wake up. Otherwise, people will randomly wake up, let's say at 3, at 4 in the night. But something massive will wake up the masses. So that's why a shock was needed, I believe, to wake people up.
Yeah. So when we say, yes, it is about finding out who we really are based on the astronomical conditions, and because we live in something like end of times or pre-Aquarius era, so it's now the window of opportunities. Now is the time to wake up. And there is no excuse not to wake up, because you have the information all over the place. Just it's pouring all over us, information everywhere. And it is very strange. I had a conversation with someone and she would tell me, how you find this information? And I was telling her, it's just everywhere. If you search, the information finds you. It is like what they say, when the student is ready, the teacher just naturally appears, right? It is exactly...
It's somewhat true, but also you need to have the antennas. You need to prep your antennas to be able to receive this information. So for some people are never really prepared to absorb it. And this is the point of deprogramming that everybody needs to start working on. And deprogramming starts with using your critical mind. So it's also checking information, the real sources of information, not necessarily trusting what you're hearing. And I insist on giving an example now from some of the people that are writing me regarding the retreat we're organizing in the summer, the new human, the new age of Aquarius and the new human, that is going to take place in Bulgaria between the 14th and the 20th of August. So some of the people are actually asking, but how are we going to travel when now only if we're traveling from the US or from Canada? Some people don't even know that the borders are already open for traveling to Europe, because what you're hearing out in the news is that you're going to be traveling only with a vaccination, and this is one of the options. But if you read in the documents, it actually tells you that you're allowed to travel with a PCR test as well. And somebody from Germany also wrote me that they believe they're not going to be able to travel within Europe without vaccination, and this is not true. But this is what you're hearing.
But again, see, this is about having critical, being critical towards the information manipulative afloat, and being able to be selective once you're critical. So indeed, part of the awakening is to be critical, really critical, to question everything you hear. You gave a perfect example with, I saw the same thing on the Bulgarian media. They were saying how people from the States can enter the European Union only with vaccine. I was thinking, this is, of course, I questioned it, because I already have this, state of
exactly,
question.
Yeah.
Like when I hear something on the news and they say good morning, I question whether it's a morning, and I'm checking where is the sun. They are so manipulative. So indeed, they said the same as you said. They said the vaccination is compulsory, and this is exactly what it isn't. You may enter with many tests, not only PCR, but there are many antigen, whatever.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
This is one example, and there's so many. Just we need to question. This is part of the awakening, to understand that what the matrix is serving you is matrix, and matrix is about program.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about
deprogramming yourself and looking for answers within. But of course, looking for answers within doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to only intuitively find the answer, but also look for the facts. As they say, fact checking, but you also have to do your fact checking as somebody who's deprogramming yourself. Check the official documents. Is this true? What is being put out there?
And once you step on this road, no one can program you anymore. You are just deprogramming yourself with amazingly fast pace, right? You are, and the truth that you discover, you become better and better in the way of finding who you really are. Exactly, the awakening. So, ladies and gentlemen, question us now and check. Just check. question everything. Zori, what about the fake awakening and the levels of awakening? We've been discussing this with you today, hours on the phone. But what do you think in short?
Well, the fake awakening is also a part of I would call it the matrix, because it's a trend now to talk about spiritual awakening and about spirituality. It's also in the mainstream. So the fake awakening is, I am spiritual because I'm vegan, or I am spiritual because I do yoga every day, which is what I've heard from people as well. And these are only things that are yet another hype. They're the new trend. And this is also programming. Everything that is a hype and a trend is programming. Because why would you do the same as what everyone else is doing? You should be doing your own thing, what makes you happy. And so when it comes to hypes of any sort, again, question everything. And I think this is also, when we talked about, it had a different connotation when we talked about the fake spiritual awakening, and we talked specifically about some self-proclaimed gurus or in certain subjects that give advice to people regarding their health, regarding what they need to put in their bodies and so on. And again, this is a hype. So let's put it in the mild way.
Can we say that the New Age is exactly one of these, all these New Age trends and hypes indeed?
Yeah. So for me, the real spiritual awakening is looking inside of yourselves, looking for answers, discovering your true skills and abilities. This doesn't necessarily mean to know all your past lives or, to live in the past, but to be very self-aware of what you're thinking, what you're taking in your body physically, mentally, emotionally, what are you allowing to trigger you? Basically, to be conscious of everything. That's being awake, being conscious of what's going on around you, inside of you.
And in the now, what is the master being Sedunu saying? It's not of your business to think about the universe even. And then they question, who is supposed to think about the universe and the problems? The one who created it, he said. Mm-hmm. And then also he said, think in the now, for tomorrow, the one will take care, right? You think about the now. And here comes the astrological perspective here, because, well, this is always interesting. What we think about, what we want to achieve is seen easily the many ways, but one of the options is, of course, to look at the lunar nodes, Rahu and Ketu, south north node. And the south Ketu is showing what we really want to achieve, what we want to see materialized, before us. And then Ketu is the experiences, the expertise, the talents that we carry from past incarnations. And then where is the now? It is the past and what we want to achieve in the future. And we somehow lack this. We do not live in the now. We, the humans, we live either back or up front, and we don't live in the now. So this is what exactly being Sedunu is saying. Live in the now. It's not of your business to think about tomorrow. There is somebody who is going to take care of tomorrow. So yeah, it is exactly what you said. It is the now and your intuition. Yeah. Only the intuition. Your intuition will tell you how to distinguish the fake spirituality and what is spirituality.
Of course, you can help your intuition. You don't only have to rely on external science, although you could, but you can also check, use your critical mind, use your logics. Logics is not forbidden in an intuitive world.
Yes. And also predisposition. Well, we also spoke about this with you today, because we discuss this often, since it's really what is the importance of today. Well, it is also about the predispositions in the horoscope. Can everyone be awake? This is a huge topic, another topic, because maybe not. Maybe there are these individuals which just, maybe they're not human, maybe they come from not human origin, we don't know, but maybe not. But in the horoscope, you can specifically distinguish the children of this pre-Aquarius era, the ones that come to, they call them what? They call them,
crystal children, indigo children. And
I don't know how they call them. Yeah, all these names, maybe are only names, but you see them. Just an hour ago, I had such horoscope of such child. You see, everything was so interesting. Somehow you see that. You see amazing, even the important, influence of Aquarius. You see this dominating. not only this, based on fixed stars and even aspects, you can see whether one is ready and comes with such predisposition to start seeing, to be awake one day. Because we all come with amnesia, maybe not all, but most of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
It still takes the free choice of you to activate what you're God given anyhow.
or triggering events like pandemic or whatever.
Yeah, but you know, if you don't decide to wake up, even a pandemic won't wake you up. It's still a choice.
It's a choice. Information is everywhere. So what can we say? Question everything. Make your own research. Well, and most probably people who watch us, since they would be watching this channel of ours, obviously they have this predisposition of the awakening. Just that we really question everything and research and trust our
I would
intuition.
say research on both sides, though, because people tend to gravitate toward one side or the other, but sometimes you can get lost also in conspiracy. I'm not saying that well, what we call conspiracy is not really a conspiracy, but there's some extreme people that focus on putting content out there mostly for money making, and maybe not everything that they're putting out there is true. So again, put your critical mind there also.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what else to say, Zori? I think this was somehow informative. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you have comments, we'll be looking forward to read your comments. And
yeah, and just a reminder for everyone that we have our course with Krasi coming up in about 2 weeks, diagnosing and healing with astrology and the Silver method, which I call now the Heal and Learn method. We'll have the link below as well, so you might get interested to join us. It's a one of a type course. You haven't seen such a course before.
yes,
One of a kind, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Zori. Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Thank you, Krasi.